Scorpio.
Hello everyone, it is a new month and it's good to see you here as always. And before we start today, I would just like to thank you all for sharing. Our site is growing and I totally appreciate that, and all your comments, your feedback, your emails. Even though I may not have time to go in and respond to all of them, I do read them, so thank you for that. Now, also before we proceed, I have created a little tune which is for healing, and that in mind I have those that went down on the Malaysian jet, those who crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and for their family members who have lost their loved ones, also the ferry boat that capsized with all those children in it. And most of us, we are mothers, you know, and as females, even for those of you who have no children, we are natural born healers. It's within our natures. And don't get me wrong, I also have a good percentage of you men too, so you're absolutely welcome to participate. But I would like to ask you to take a moment to listen to this, and while you close your eyes and allow your hearts to open and send forth that healing energy, both to those who have departed, but also to those family members who are left back, and the hurt that they're feeling. So I thought I'd do this month. You'll find a button so you can just click through, listen, and then come back, and we shall see what's up for you here now this month. Hello Scorpio, this is your forecast for June 2014. And are you traveling this month? If so, you're going to have a wonderful travel, because this month you have the new moon in this area that's really going to open up new doors for you, new experiences, and it's there along with Jupiter and Mercury. And so this is definitely short distance travel within the travel destination, like going somewhere and then going off from there in that area, could be. And when we have Mercury in this area, there's a lot of information and knowledge, curiosity that piques your interest culturally as well, just because it's the ninth house of philosophy. It's the ninth house of wanting to experience things on higher elevated levels within us that can drench that mental curiosity of Mercury. And so some of you might even feel how it can spark memories from the past, only because it's in the sign of Cancer, and the Cancer rules the past, so to speak. But having the new moon in this area definitely is going to give you a jolt of joy and excitement, and this will be at the end of here June. So yeah, this is like putting down intentions for wanting to travel more, to explore more. You know, this Jupiterian energy always keeps us longing for those horizons out there. And even if you can't travel now, it's a great time to put down those intentions so that you can harvest from it in the upcoming months. All right, you got a whole year before you get this opportunity to at least plant the seeds. And you know, even a mustard seed can grow up to this huge tree, right? So yeah, this is what we have. We do have Mercury going retrograde on June 7th. So then it will be enlightening this house here, and probably spark you to go research some more, perhaps. You know, follow your mind, follow that intuition. It's like you start somewhere doing some searches, maybe on Google, and then it takes you to another place, to another place, to another place. This is how it works. You just follow, you know, those lines and connect the dots, and you'll see where you end up. And Jupiter will always be very generous to you here in this area. The Sun, though, is in the 8th house this month, so traveling through everything of joint resources, the money you have with your partner, but it could also be banking and other financial situations, perhaps. Any alimonies and monies owed to you from others could come into the picture, like bonuses and commissions and so forth. So you'll see how that is going to be balancing between that and that of the full moon, which is going to be in your second house for income. So already here on the full moon, you can see how maybe some of this will be landing smack in your hand. And that full moon is on the 13th for you in this area of your own income stream, you know, the month-to-month check. So that might be joyful. We shall see how the other planets here aspect to it. But we also want to focus a little bit on Venus this month because she's powerful. She's in the sign that she rules, which is Taurus. And Taurus rules your 7th house of committed relationships, long-term relationships. So you might just come to see that this is going to be such a lovey-dovey month, you know, putting more energy here towards your partner, or having your partner be more attentive to you so that you can, you know, receive something here as well. Regardless, though, you know, we always want to keep it in a flow. But yeah, Venus here in at least, I'd like to say, till she moves into Gemini, which would be on the 23rd of June. So up to that time, you will have a wonderful, wonderful time. Now, if you're listening to this forecast on the May end of this, you'll find a link here about Venus and how she's going to be affecting you in your sign here in May. From June 1st, up goes a link for Venus in June. So you might want to follow along and see how more of this information in your 7th house for you and your partner is going to act out here. A lot more on that video. So let's move to Mars now. Finally direct. It has been vacillating back and forth here in your 12th house, doing a lot of things for you, making you antsy, making you feel like, okay, it's time to get up and out of the rut and get going. You know, it's been holding your energy back somewhat. However, though, try to recognize, Scorpio, that you need that. Okay, it's just difficult for you because you feel there's so many responsibilities weighing upon you, but that's not due to necessarily Mars there. That's Saturn in your 1st house. And we've spoken about this over the months. It's moving slowly, right? And we're nearly done. You're nearly there with the end of that retrograde, which will not be before next month. But, you know, 5 months is a long time to have it just hover. So that will be around July 21st there. But Mars is releasing its grip on you, and it's been giving you this extra time. Normally it takes 6 weeks to move through a sign quickly. We've had it 8 months in this area. So you might have felt how your Mars, it's been harder to get it up and going because it's been grounding here in this 12th house. It's in the house of Pisces, you know, and so, but it's also the area of recuperation, you know, to spa yourself, take time off. And so you might have felt like double signals from the universe where Saturn says push on with a responsibility. It's claiming you and your attention, but Mars hasn't had the energy to follow up. So you might have felt that you've been working on, you know, just a couple of pistols here, and but it's going to catch up with you now, and hopefully in between that you have found some rest and peace, because you're going to be very busy again, right? So slowly but surely now, it takes time after a retrograde to kind of pick up the pace. But you will see that it's going to feel that much better from May 21st. And then here into June already, it is starting to speed up. So then we have children, Neptune here in the 5th house. Children and creativity, self-expression and creative projects and so forth. Well, Neptune here is on a very long transit for very many years. Now this month, Neptune is going to turn retrograde. So what does that mean here in this area? Well, yes, it rules children, you know, and so you might see how there's going to be a shift taking place with them over these next 5 months. It's going to be retrograde to November 16th. And you might see how your own energies here in the creative area, which the fifth house is, you know, self-expression of creativity. You might see how you're wanting to catch up with it. Maybe you haven't had the time. Maybe now that you can find that inspiration, especially because Neptune rules that 12th house, and that's where Mars has been trying to slow you down, right? So you've had these months here now to adjust a little bit more than you have in these other years to now embed that Neptunian energy of the 12th. Well, here we go, Neptune again, but now it's in the 5th house, and it's not hidden, it's not subconscious, it's out there, it's in the house of Leo. It wants to express. So maybe Mars has been setting you up there, preparing you for this very creative cycle that can come, because Scorpio, you have talents and skills that are artsy. You're water ruled, you know, and that loves to express colors and tunes and harmony and music and all these things. But yeah, there hasn't been much time to do all that with Saturn holding you, right? But now as it retrogrades, it's going to bring it back into your life. And this is what I love, love, love about retrogrades. Now, there's a lot of people, even astrologers, that don't like retrogrades. I love them. I love them because it allows us that time to kind of do the dance between moving forward and then moving inwards. But when you're a water sign, you like that. And being a water sign, I love that. It's the ebb and flow of the ocean. There's always a time to move forward and express outwardly. But then we need that ebb too, not just the flow, because when we're ebbing, we're going within, we're listening to that higher inspiration coming out. So for you as a Scorpio here, you're going to love it too. Now, Neptune can also have things disappear on us, so be careful, nothing disappears. It's like holding water. You know, Neptune is the ocean. We hold water. It's there for a second and then it just runs through, it drains through. That can be very frustrating. So we can find that maybe time might be slipping or disappearing from us. As you dive into this very creative world, you know, it's like, well, time doesn't exist there, does it? I think any creative person knows that. You know, 1 hour can feel like you got missing time for 10 hours, or a whole week can disappear, feel like just one day. That is that creative flow. So you might feel that. Yeah, and hopefully it's not children that disappear, it's the 5th house of children. But yeah, that self-expression, you will feel that since it's also in the house of Pisces, and it is Neptune, you know, you're going to have more of a Piscean feel of how they normally have their everyday lives as far as empathy. You know, that's what Neptune is, empathy, compassion, forgiveness, and so forth. And you might just feel also that there's a deeper need to forgive. Why? Because that Neptune is retrograde. It brings the past back. And Neptune is the repeater system. This is why addictions follow Neptune. And I just spoke about that here with Libra too. That Neptune is like the voice, you know, shouting out to the canyons, and then you hear the echo, 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 echo. And what is addictions if not the echo, you know, coming to the mind? Do this, do this, do this, you know. And so the addictive personalities may have that echo voice, not realizing, you know, that it is actually something you can choose to kind of shut off, you know, shut that door. But yeah, but see, this is also that the higher level of love, because Venus rules love, Neptune is that higher octave of it. So it's all about that spiritual, unconditional love. You may feel a lot of unconditional love towards your children, but since it's retrograding now, you might have situations from the past that at some point wounded you, hurted you, and sometimes, you know, some people have, it's very easy for them to forgive and let go. For others, it's more difficult. Some people even are very bullheaded about it. It's like, I'm not forgiving them, they hurt me. Okay, so if they hurt you 15 years ago, well, they might have already forgotten about what they said or did already the day after. It's not in their consciousness, but you carried it 15 years longer. So, you know, who now are we talking about that's creating the wound? Was it them? Or have you allowed this wound to echo like in canyons within your mind and your spirit? So why is forgiveness important? Well, the whole message about Neptune is forgiveness. Love and let go. Love regardless, you know, in spite of, you know, show compassion to self as you show compassion to others. And in the forgiveness, this is your release and your liberation to let go of any wounds that might be echoing there with this retrograde. And you don't have to do it all at once, but you will, trust my words, between now and November 16th, come to encounter situations from the past that's going to be flushing up from the subconscious to the conscious mind, and this is where you can heal yourself by letting go. Good for you, all right? That is you will walk that much lighter and easier upon this planet without all the luggage. It's all about learning that trick to let go and let God, right? So let's take a look at what else we have here. We talked about the new moon. The new moon is on the 27th of June. We got the full moon here, second house for income. That's on the 13th. Now, when we start off top of the month, we have Venus and Neptune, which is still not retrograde, but it's going to be very romantic, and this is going to be for you here in the area of your home with your children, your family, and also your partner, but it is a partnership type of romantic. Have a date with your spouse on this date. And if you're single, well, you know, it might be a time to attract somebody into your life on the 4th. On the 6th, you can have an unexpected surprise for you. This will be between the 8th and the 6th house. So maybe from some coworker. The 6th house is those you work with. It's also your day-to-day routine, but it also ties into somehow some money that can come into the picture. Maybe you're going to buy yourself a fitness voucher or something, because 6th house has to do with getting into shape, dieting, working out and whatnot, and then a little expense here from the 8th house, which can enhance you, or maybe you're going to be gifted or granted something that you can go do for your health. On the 7th, this is when Mercury goes retrograde, and it's still in your 9th house for travel and higher education, but on the 17th, it's going to move back into your 8th house, where it has been working for a few months, not a few months, a few weeks there in May. So whatever you didn't get to finalize here in this area of intimacy, communication on those levels, or also anything with your investors perhaps, well, you're going to get a good chance to do that after the 17th. Just make sure that you don't sign any documents, any agreements here after the 7th when Mercury goes retrograde. You want to hold off to July 1st. Another wonderful day to look forward to is on the 8th. This is Pluto and Venus. So if Venus and Neptune was great on the 4th, Venus and Pluto even deeper, because it's that Plutonian energy of the Scorpio, and you are Scorpio. Venus is trining here with your ruler, and so it creates such a deep intimacy, such a sharing, a bonding, not just on the sensual, but also the sexual. There's a lot of healing in that too, coming in on the 8th, and for you, this should be between the 3rd house and your 7th house. So it could all be in the sharing of intimacy, but also in communication, you know, expressing those deeper levels of love that you need to hear from your partner. And it's also you sharing, because your partner needs to hear that too. So Venus is powerful. I did post a link here. Don't know if I mentioned it on this video, if I did for Libra, but there is a link here how Venus is going to really interact here with Taurus. Very sensually so here in May. The link is there, and June 1st there will be a link of how Venus is going to express itself there in June. So then we have another couple of days we want to make a mark of, though, and this is Venus and Saturn. Saturn in 1st house and Venus in the 7th house. So it could be a talk here between you and your partner, perhaps about what is important to you, what is important to him or her. Has to do with money matters, could be, or also how you value yourselves. There is an issue there, but I see that that can really work out well here on the 12th if you are aware and you're a little bit prepared, so it doesn't have to become an issue, and hopefully not, because on the 14th, just 2 days after there, if this was settled, fine, it will be good. If not, maybe it's going to come up again, and it might come up again with a little bit of resentments, because Mars and Pluto are going to be square. And so Mars might just feel that things weren't heard properly. So, you know, you might bring it up, your partner might bring it up. So make sure that you're both being heard on the 12th. It will make the 14th that much better. And you know how Mars can react. It's just trigger happy. If something has provoked it, it won't think first. It will just blurt, right? And so Pluto behind that blurting is even more so powerful than Mars. So yeah, but you know, even this shall pass. I feel it could be about something of past issues, not a fresh one, because both Saturn and Pluto here are retrograde. So something that wasn't resolved way back when is karmically now coming up, so you can look at it, and you don't want to sweep it under the carpet, because you know what? Next time around, it will definitely come back around. You want to heal it. You know, you just want to approach it, want to heal it, speak it out, then let it go and forgive, you know, as Neptune is messaging you to just forgive and let go, and so be it. There's a new day today and tomorrow, and it's so much easier when we feel lighter at heart. Okay, so on the 17th, we have that Mercury retrograde moving back, okay, into Gemini. That will be out of your 9th house, back into the 8th house, so you can tie up any loose ends between the 17th and the 1st in any kind of financial situation. And then we have a beautiful day on the 18th, which is Venus and Jupiter, which is very jovial, lots of laughter, lots of fun. This is for you, your partner, yourself, and Jupiter there in the 9th house. If you're doing any travel or getaway, wonderful time here for all of you, both of you. And then we have Venus moving out of Taurus here on the 23rd, moving into Gemini. And so it's out of the partnership house, but it's still in the house of intimacy, which the 8th house is. So if the 7th house is relating and balancing between the two of you, the 8th house is that little deeper level here where now we're intimately relating. That doesn't necessarily mean just on a physical level, which it could be, but relating means communing together, you know, merging, rising as one. Beautiful time there. Venus likes it here because it is that Scorpion house. So it's a water house, but it's also in the sign of Gemini, which is going to allow you to, maybe to express, to articulate a little bit more intimately with your partner. Maybe you're going to be hearing he or she, you know, relating to you. And that's music to your ears, isn't it? Then we have a swift decision needing to be made here on the 25th. I feel it's work-related. Work versus that of you and your need to have time alone. Okay, so you might feel like you're stretched in both areas on your daily routines. So maybe somebody's needing you too much. Maybe the whole family's needing you too much on the 25th. And then Mars still being in that 12th house is saying, hey, listen, I need some time off because I'm recharging battery. You know, you are, in fact, recuperating from long-term stress, Scorpio. Heed the message of your body and you will do good. And then hopefully everybody else around you, whether it's in the home and family area or if it is in the work area, that they can understand that you need this space. This is going to really let you off on a very good note here at the end of the month, Scorpio, on the 29th. Now, if you had a beautiful romantic evening there on June 4th, well, June 29th is going to be even better so. just because now we have a trine, which is more like the full cup. If the cup was half full but beautiful, because we did have Venus and Neptune together here on the 4th, harmonious, you know, candlelight dinner and all that, beautiful date. Well, it's going to be even better, if possible, here on the 29th. So hey, listen, go listen to your moon and your rising sign so you can get even more in depth of what is going on, what you can expect from this month. And I will see you next month, Scorpio. And as always, love, love, love sharing with you. So take care and I'll see you in July. Bye now.